Today in this video I'm building a floating shelf out of leftovers. Now this is a very simple and quick one-day build that you can easily do at home. First off, this is a simple white coated chipboard that actually were a shelf before. I want to keep this diagonal edge that it has on the front, but this is really up to you, it also could be square. Now it's important to note that you always have two of these main pieces that are exactly identical. Later they will be on top of each other and will enclose the bracket that we're gonna put in. This one to be exact. Now, as you can tell, this bracket has also been in use before, and for the new shelf it's actually a little bit too long, so I needed to trim it down. Of course there are many ways to cut metal, but I had my Dremel flying around and I thought the angle grinder might actually be a little bit overkill for that. So the bracket that I have right here is actually from IKEA, from one of these luck shelves. But if you want to rebuild something yourself and you don't already have a bracket like this, you don't need to buy a shelf first, you can also get these brackets online. So the bracket should actually be sunk in a little bit into the material, so you don't have a ugly gap on top of the shelf. And to achieve that, I'm using my track saw and setting the depth to half the material thickness. After that I needed to remove the excess material, and then we are left with a so-called rabbit. If you build a shelf that is not square, like I am doing right here, keep in mind that you cut out the groove on the side that faces inside the shelf. And again, this step goes for both sides. We are going to glue solid oak wood to the edges, but glue doesn't stick that good to the chipboard coating. So on all edges it needs to be removed as well. I have a lot of oak flooring flying around, and that's what I'm gonna build the edges out of. First off, I remove the groove, and then I cut out 3 slices that are slightly thicker than the shelf will be later on. There's not very much you could do wrong with gluing on the edges. I would recommend putting the bracket in between the 2 pieces of chipboard and then clamping it down as you see it right here. Then, after adding some glue and of course a piece of oak, I wanted to try out my new electric nailer and added 4 nails to the edge as well, just to save on clamping. In the next step I like to use my Ryoba Japanese saw, because you can lay it against the diagonal edge and that way you will have the perfect angle on the oak. After that is done, you can glue on the front. This time I'm actually clamping it down, because I don't want to have any nails visible. To remove the overhang, I like to use my template bit, which is definitely the foolproof way, or should at least, because spoiler alert, as always, I will find a way to mess up. I guess I am a fool after all. To my defense, the ball bearing just broke down and the router bit just ran straight into the wood. But as they say, happy little mistakes, because this way I can show you the non-electric way of planing the edges and how to remove this dent now. As you see, this works perfectly with the hand plane as well, but you have to be careful to not cut into the coating of the chipboard, otherwise you will just tear it out. Removing this dent is not so complicated as well. You just need some time and patience and some chisels. So I successfully made a round dent into a square dent, but square dents are way easier to fill. I'm using some CA glue and just a piece of oak that has been flying around in my shop to fill that in now. I used the hand plane on this little block to fit it to the edge. Okay, we're getting close to the finish line and I decided to give it all a round over. After that is done, just some sanding, adding some finish, and it can finally be mounted to the wall. It fits absolutely perfect and is overall very stable. We have it in use for over 3 months now, and you can easily put some heavier things on it. Thank you all for watching and see you next time.